Flipping heck, man. Can you slip this? Welcome back to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. You're joining me today for a episode of Shifting Your Paradigm. Spooky. It's not really spooky, but I say it's spooky because of a story that I have to tell about me and my mentor when we was having a deep walk conversation in a park in Islington. There was a woman that didn't really believe that all of humanity originated from Mother Africa. She was talking about how did people get to Trinidad then? Like, how did people get to Jamaica then? How did people get to the UK then? And them ones there. How did people get to South America then? And it's like, what she didn't understand that obviously slaves taken to work different places, reproduction and stuff like that are gone. So after we had broken down some of the key concepts, she decided that she wanted to accompany us for the rest of the conversation to see what else she could learn. She was studying at university at the time. She was like 26 or something like that, 25 or 26. But yeah, so when we got to the park, now me and my mentor, we're on time schedule though, so we need conversations like to go forward. So she's kind of like third wheeling our conversation. Me and my mentor just going at it, just discussing the Mazzolini, talking about everything, and she's present. She's asking questions every now and again and stuff and getting a little understanding. And then she just stopped and just looked at us like gobsmacked. She like, "You shattered my paradigm." And we was like, "Rah, like what? Like, what does that even mean, fam?" I didn't even know what paradigm meant at these times. It looked like she was suffering from trauma. Like we had changed, like woken her up in the matter of a conversation, just raw exposure. Like we changed the whole way of thinking, her perspective over the world, how she's gonna operate now, like, and she was feeling that disheartened by it and a bit down, and that wasn't healthy in it. And I had to just remind her that, raw, like, now that you've been woken up and you know this information, you gotta make a decision about what you're gonna do about that. Your ancestors died for you, so it's time for you to honor them and bring back Mother Africa. You see it? Yeah. But I was going a bit off track there, but that's shifting your paradigm, so not shattering your paradigm. I don't want to do that. I just want to shift it slowly so that you don't point at me and shout at me, you get me? Yeah, so today I'm going to be taking you through day number 1 of 7-day transformation for your mindset. After this 7 days of course that we're going to go through, your mindset is going to be renewed. These are conversations that we're going to have that it's just going to open a new perspective that you can choose to dibble dabble into and choose to use this way of thinking. It's an option, NSG. You have to be very mature to make a mindset transition, and a lot of habits are going to go in. So if you're ready, let's get to it, man. Day number 1 of Prospect Living quotes. I'm sorry, yeah, no latex at the moment. I'm out, but shipment coming in soon, hopefully, please. You can do what you want when you know what you're on. In other words, you must learn to accept and love yourself before you can learn to accept and love anybody else. That rhymed. And I'm going to translate that for you again. It's so simple to understand. Know what you stand for and stand for that publicly. It's time to start owning the things that you enjoy doing and that you love doing, so that you don't end up feeling miserable or being misled by you misleading yourself by putting up some social persona to feel socially accepted, when you and I both know that's not the you. In terms of, if you listen to some music that nobody really rocks with and nobody listens to, but you like it, it's time to just own that. I listen to that music, and worst case scenario, I listen to that music, and what? If you want to study this subject, or you want to work here in this building and people don't really respect or praise that decision, you want to do it, and what? It's time to start publicly owning the things that you love doing or that you enjoy doing, just the inner you understand? Because more time that inner you we don't get to express, we suppress it, and then that's what leads to being miserable, because we don't actually get to know who we really are. For this one, I have a cab analogy. I'm going to try to add analogies into almost everything that I explain, just so that it's a little bit more easier to understand or get a grasp of. I was delivering a prospect training session to a group of apprentices, and during my sessions I always ask, Where is it that you wish to go with your future? That's the question I asked, not what job do you want or none of that kind of stuff. Where is it that you wish to go with your future? And a young man put his hand up and he said that he wanted to be a cab driver. And at this point the rest of the class started laughing. Me personally, I wasn't really prepared for that answer, but I just asked him, is that what's going to make you happy, bro? And he said yes, with confidence. So I had to just remind him quickly that I would be a user of his company. I got cabbed to that destination. And it's like almost everybody in that class would probably have what? Uber, Captain, Bolt, Ola. I said Ola. And I'm sure there's many others as well. I'm telling you, every single time we have an event that's in Lewisham, Catford or anywhere, I'm getting a cab to there. That's long. Especially when I'm dressed in my Saturday shoes. The only thing that I said to the young man was, first of all, yeah, like, if that's what you want to do, I just showed you that is a valuable service. I'd use it, I'd pay you for it. But maybe have like a unique selling point for your company, just so that's a bit better. Like maybe have a good fleet of cars, like good cars for once, that come and pick you up all the time for certain prices or something. But you need to calculate it, have a unique selling point, and yeah. After I said that, he was gassed, if I'm honest with you. It's like, that was the first person who had shed any light on what he actually wanted to do with himself. Then I stopped and I asked one of the people who was laughing at him, like, where is it that you wish to go with your future? And he told me he doesn't know. So I was like, bro, you're laughing at him wanting to be a cab driver. You don't even know what you want to do for your own future. Like, you should be laughing, bro. The class weren't really making too much noise after that one. Then I went on to my second analogy and I said to them, if I had £50 right now and my hair was messy, and I'm talking to the boys for this one, and you guys could do hair, who here would do my hair for £50? So even for you right now, if you're a boy watching this, if I had £50 for you, just say you was £50 off of your dream car that you needed, just don't think of it as just £50, £50 away from something that you could get then, for example. I'll give you £50 if you could do my hair. Some of the boys said, nah, they wouldn't do it. One of the boys said, yeah, you would. He wasn't feeling man or nothing like that. And the rest were just like bench warmers. You know, people aren't really speaking up for themselves, probably because they fear. They probably would, but they don't want to say they would because other people in the class might. So I said, cool. So he would pay me to do my hair, yeah? No. So I said, cool. You would do my hair for £50. So you do my hair, I give you £50. Now you can go about your day and buy whatever it is that you need with that £50. So what does that mean now? Does that mean that he's any more of a wuss or any less of a man because he just did my hair? That's the question I'm going to ask you right now. Because I'm telling you now, if you go up to him and you cuss his mum, guaranteed the boy looked. He was a bit big, innit? Yeah, he was a bit big. He's going to punch you in your face, and then you just got punched in the face by somebody who just did my hair. So what does that make you then? I'm telling you, you can do what you want when you know what you're on. Just because he did my hair, and if you said yes you would do it too, just because you did my hair, that's all that means. You did Prospect's hair. It doesn't mean that you're an idiot, it doesn't mean you're unique, it doesn't mean you're weak, it doesn't mean if you're disrespected you're not going to retaliate. That's what I had to learn when coming up with this quote, was that just because I was trying to be the best version of myself, being positive as much as I can, it didn't mean necessarily that if he disrespected me in a way or offended me in a way that I wasn't going to approach that situation. How I would approach the situation whilst trying to be a positive person will actually decide whether I am a positive person or if I'm not. Now grasp the concept of both analogies that I've just taught and apply them to your life. Music, just because I personally know a few people that listen to music that they wouldn't listen to around the man then. Even me, I swear I've got a couple jazz tunes and that I bang that. But I'm unruly, I don't really care, I'll play that. If there's music that you like, you play it, because all it means is that you're playing the music. It doesn't mean that you're an idiot or a neek. Take this job, work here, wear that clothing. That's all you're doing, innit, is you're doing those things. Obviously be aware of how people are going to perceive you when you're doing those things, but understand that it doesn't mean much more than what you're actually doing, which is that one thing. Yeah, that's it. I think that's confusing. I'm being too confusing. Just because you want to do something or you are doing something, that's all that it means. It doesn't foreshadow any other characteristic upon yourself, unless you let it, of course. Just because you do this, it doesn't mean that you're weaker than this person all of a sudden. Just because you do that, it doesn't mean that you're more feminine or less masculine than my man over there. It don't mean that. And if people test you because of that, that's when it's your place to show them why it's not that. I'm telling you, you can do what you want when you know what you're on. translate into you can do what you want when you know what you're about. So, you understand? Comprende? Con mis amigos? Yeah, no, that. Yeah, bedtime for me, man. Prospect living, baby. I hope you enjoyed today. Be back for episode 2 coming soon, and we'll explore the next quote, the next stage to unlocking your mind frame, so that you can just really just skyrocket towards your dreams, man. 2020 is the best vision to have, they say, innit? Take care. Weed on the bill with the cap on the toasted. Potato chips, woy. So apparently, it's the 1st of September today, as you know, and if you watched the previous video, you would have seen that the Back to the Futures that we planned would be starting from the 1st of September. So the ones that I did on my board as a demo, I'm not actually doing that to get a car and trading. It was just examples to use for you guys to plan in it. But one thing I will actually be doing is trying to launch my clothing brand, Prospect Living Clothing. So if you haven't seen it already, what yo? Let me show you the wardrobe. Look, it's there, innit? I do jumpers. This was just a little demo. You can't even see that PL too tough, but that was just for me, thermal exclusive. Track suits. This is the latest. You see it? Generation 5, this one, but I got 5 generations of tracksuits there, all powered away and stuff neatly, as you can see. Woy. I'm actually going to be launching that, innit? Live public release has been pending for a very long time, and I haven't yet managed to sort it out. So I did my Back to the Future starting from the 1st. Well, we'll be starting from tomorrow, but up until the end of the year. And you'll follow me on my journey then, so you can see if I'm just waffling or whether this planning system actually does work, innit? Get me? So hopefully it does work. If it doesn't, then it Mazadine. But COVID's going on, so that's my excuse. Some things are operating a little bit differently to how they would in a normal time. But as you can see, when you know what it is that you need to do, yeah, post on social media to find a website designer. Look at different clothing categories, like short sets, tracksuits, jumpers, like that. Look at all the clothing pictures I've got on my camera that I've taken already, so I can post them on social media. And shout Fortune, my brother Quabs, so he can basically just give me a little bit of advice or mentorship on how to run it properly, innit? And that's all I've got to do for tomorrow. Why would I do that tomorrow when I could do that right now? You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, literally, we're just gonna go up and tick off all the objectives up until we reach the 31st of December. And yeah, man, we'll just see. Even if it's not done by the 31st, you'll be very far along your journey to getting there. And yeah, man, I'll see you in some attire soon. Word up. Boy.